quick reminder before we get into today's episode. One of our sponsors is Audible. Head to audibletrial.com/FitPro podcast to get a 30-day free trial. From my experience, audiobooks have helped me learn the most. I can learn while I'm on the train on the way to work, and it just benefits me more than reading books personally. Everybody's different. If that's not you, that's cool. But if it is, make sure you check out audibletrial.com/FitPro podcast for your free 30-day trial. There's over 200,000 books for you to choose from on all of your devices, so go ahead and check it out. Episode 69 of the FitPro podcast. Welcome back to the FitPro podcast. I'm your host Marvin Fayez, and today's episode is a summary of January 2017. I want you all to take a quick few seconds and reflect on January and what has January done for you. Again, new year, new me, you hear it all, you hear your resolutions every year. Have you accomplished everything that you thought you would at this point in time? I feel like people often overestimate what they can do in a month, but they underestimate what they can do in a year. So if you haven't hit everything you need to for January, just know that there's still, 11 months left. And you still got plenty to go. Now, to everybody that is new to the FitPro podcast, every month I do a summary on my insights, the wins, the learnings in January's episodes. It's all those that are already obviously established subscribers and listen to every single episode of the FitPro podcast. This is not new to you, so sit back and enjoy. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the insights. My insights for this month is very self-reflective because I feel like I could have done more. Personally, I feel like I could have done more, and when I sit down and I think about it, it's just planning, guys. It's just planning for me. I need to plan this better. I need to allocate the time to do the podcast more, and I really just don't want to put out stuff just for the sake of putting out stuff. It's a podcasting rule that you got to be consistent with your content, and yes, I understand that, but I don't want to put out trash. I'd rather do quality over quantity, and I'd rather not spam you with shit. So I want to be able to, my insight from this month is needing to practice the 6 Ps more. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. That's what I want to do, and I only want to put out good content. If that means putting out one episode a week of my best content, I will do that. I don't need to put out 2 episodes a week, and I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me ramble about bullshit, alright? So, January's wins. I started a new position at work this month, so that's a win for me personally, and I just want to let you into my world so you know that, look, this is my side hustle. Okay, my side hustle. But at the same time, I need to be executing in my life so that I can still be doing this as a side hustle until it takes over. And yeah, got a new position, better place, better company, better position, just better. All right. I ended up booking 2 interviews for the biggest guests I've ever had on the show for February. Really, really good. Another learning from that is I was off for the last 2 weeks, and my online schedule had those hours in there. They booked after the fact, so I'm back at work now. My time's changed around. I did mention it in the email, but it's just something that needed to be reinforced because they did book in the times that I'm not available this month. So a little bit of admin there, but we'll get it done, and we'll get to the biggest guests we have ever had on the show in February, so look forward to that. My learnings for January, guys: scheduling in time for your side hustle. I feel like it's super important for me. I need to schedule in the time, make it a priority, which I always have. It's just a bit of a chaotic environment at the moment, and hopefully that, no, not hopefully, it will all settle down back into a routine, so then I can put in the work that you guys deserve. Okay, I've been a little bit slack, and that's because I haven't been making it a priority, and I will be back on the grind in February and hopefully put out some amazing content for you. Now, just going over the episodes. We did 8 episodes, which is pretty good. Pretty good for the show, and that's still consistently 2 a week, and hopefully you liked every single one of them. So let's go through them. We started at episode 61. It was goal setting in 2017. So I just went through the goals that I had, a few of them, as well as how to help you set up those goals for 2017. The hashtag New Year, New Me, hashtag New Year's resolution, all that bullshit, right? That's what that's about, right? Episode 62 is an interview with Patrick Humphrey, probably one of the most interesting characters we've had on the show. Make sure you check it out. He started his business off MyFitnessPal. Episode 63, Above or Below the Line. We're talking about basically holding yourself accountable for your actions, being proactive, not reactive. It's a great episode. Go into that, check it out. It is, probably one of my more enjoyable episodes personally. Excuse the Facebook bong. Episode 64 is the continuation of the interview with Patrick Humphrey. You know, guys, if you're brand new and you don't know, I split up the interviews into 2 parts. They're more manageable, more digestible. You can go through each part again if you had to, and that's just the way I do it. So, suck that. You gotta like it. Episode 65, The Side Hustle. Basically, I talked about this prior in January's learnings and January's wins, is the side hustle. This is a side hustle for me. What's your side hustle? How to set it up? How to be successful in a side hustle. I talk about that. Episode 66, interview with Brian Roach. I love interviewing Irish people, guys. The energy is just amazing. They just have the most amazing passion for what they do, and make sure you check that interview out. It's a must listen. Yeah, it's a must listen. Yes. Episode 67 was about accountability, and I quoted the great Conor McGregor. You will do nothing. You will do fucking nothing. It's about accountability and how to hold yourself accountable, how to get an accountability buddy. Episode 68 is Brian Roach, part 2. So again, it's the same energy we bring in the first part, so make sure you check it out. Brian Roach, he has got a crazy story, right? Now, all of those interviews with the people that we've had on the show, you can check out their show notes and go and check them out personally on their pages. Contact them if you want. Contact them. I don't care. Contact them. Guys, and I just want to say thanks. Thanks so much for consistently tuning into the show every week and listening to what is essentially my point of view. Guys, I'm no expert. I have been in the fitness industry for a long time. I'm no longer in it, unless you call the podcast still being in it, because it keeps my finger on the pulse of things. And I just want to help everybody out there that's struggling to find their place in the fitness world, or just even as a young person or an old person in the entrepreneur field. I feel this podcast is turning into something a lot more, and hopefully in the future we can use this podcast to inspire hundreds of thousands of people all around the world, and it will always be there. It will always be a resource for you. So if you find an episode that you particularly like, and you have friends and family that's struggling with a particular topic, and I've got it, and I've gone about it, and I've summarized it, broke it down, and actually talked about it from someone else's point of view, feel free to share it, guys. Sharing is caring. Subscribing is even better. And I know a lot of you don't know this, or you do. I'm just assuming a lot of things today. So some of you may know this, some of you may not know this, but I am doing a massive review drive this 2017. I want to get to 50. That's the goal. I want to get to 50 reviews. I've got about 23 at the moment. 24. They're still coming in constantly. So my challenge to you guys is when you get a moment, either pause the podcast right now if you're on an iOS device, click the album art, or flip over to a star rating system. Give me 4 stars, 5 stars. Leave some comments if you really love the show on how I could make it better for you personally, and how I have helped, or how much you love the show. Let's go with that. If you're on an Android device, unfortunately at this point in time there is no review process for that, so unless you want to really go out of your way, you can definitely sign on to your iOS account, everybody's got one, or create one and leave me a review. How about that challenge? Guys, below each and every episode I always leave links to how to subscribe to on Android devices if you're on my Facebook page, or how to subscribe to iOS devices if you're on my Facebook page. You will see that, and on my Twitter as well. Make sure you like the Fit Pro podcast on Facebook at Fit Pro Pod, and check us out on Twitter at Fit Pro Podcast. Last but not least, make sure you head to the website fitpropodcast.com.au. No AU. How did I mess that up? I've been saying this for a while. It is fitpropodcast.com. I think it's getting late for me, guys, so I'm going to let it go. If you have any questions at all, make sure you let me know at marvinfitpro@gmail.com. And yeah, that's all we have. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your week. I will catch you at the end of the week.